Good evening, dear Professor, Lady Vivanco. This is Mauricio Muñoz Mejia, and today I'm going to give a presentation about the process of scaffolding in Clil classes. Please allow me to share my screen to continue my presentation. In this first slide, we have an excellent picture, excellent image that showed what scaffolding is or what scaffolding means. As we can see, we have some machinery. This machinery are being controlled by people, engineer probably. So these people has used many techniques, resources in order to get the objective, the building. We can take this definition and context and put it into education. Scaffolding. It refers to a set of instructional techniques that are used to guide students toward better understanding and eventually greater independence in the learning process. So what does this mean? As a teacher, especially English teacher, we can find or we can meet students for different English level in a single class, different pace of learning, different wave of understanding. So scaffolding helps a lot the teachers because we can use different resources in order to keep those students or to keep up those students with the other ones, the ones who have a good English levels. In a single class, we can construct different activities, but this is pretty important to follow some things that the scaffolding works. In the first step is that the teacher must modeling or must be modulating, okay, the different activities they need to achieve. So the students can see him or see her and understand. In the second, so the teacher gives a little bit less information because the students, they know how to work properly with less information. And then at the end, so the students learned properly how to work with this. What is the objective of the activity? In other words, scaffolding are the resources, methodologies, ideas that the teacher provide to students in order to get an objective, the principal objective. Let's continue with the next slide. In the next slide, we have the Clil and scaffolding. Well, scaffolding is based on a concept, Jankowski. He said that the son of proximal development and the focus on assistance of a learner that go beyond, because the students need achieved on their own. Learners require assistance and guidance until they are able to perform and achieve any activity independently. The scaffolding can be removed gradually until it's no longer needed. The process is that all the students at the beginning with the teacher as a principal support, and then, as I said earlier, during the process, so the teacher can give more instructions, so the scaffolding can work with those students, so at the end, they can work independently. Scaffolding is the support that the clear teacher gives to the students in a number of different ways. Okay, now in this part we have some example of the scaffolding, and the title is says, "Be careful." As we can see in the picture number 1, this scaffolding is chaotic. Even though we know the concept, the definition of scaffolding, we need to be sure how to work properly scaffolding. It's not just give instructions, it's not just carry out different methodology. We need to be sure our students, what are the students' necessity. In the number 2, as we can see, we have a scaffolding that is surrounded a building. So this put into education or into the clear class, that means that the teacher not only can focus on in one single student or in a group, but teacher needs to create resources for all the students, no matter if that student have a different learning acquisition. That's the point of scaffolding, to realize the student's needs. Then in the picture number 3, we have an individual. As I said, the teacher must be aware all the students' necessity and give or provide those students modeling as much as he or she can, in order these students can be independently in the future. And the picture number 4, this is actually what is the correct way of scaffolding. Order, precise. This probably take time to master it, but this is the best way to support the students, to give the correct instruction, the correct key to become independent learner. Now we have the big picture about the procedures used in scaffolding. The point in using the different procedure in the scaffolding is to make the content accessible to different students' level. So as we can see, we have this graphic, and it showed us the different resources that we have or procedure that we have in a scaffolding. Native language tests, organizers, outlines, level study guides. They are a good example about the way teachers work with scaffolding. In the next part, I'm going to show you step by step with four different resources, how can we work with scaffolding. In the first one, we have the reading. During the reading, so we can create graphic organizer, can improve the learner's memories. This is a nice resource because we can put in a general view about the activities, the procedures, and the aims of the activity, in this case, the reading. In this picture, we have Alice in the Wonderland. So we see different kids that the students can learn. But not only this example, remember, we need to think about the other students. In this case, we need to model how we can create or give the correct instructions so the students can learn what is the principal objective of this, the graphic organizer. In this picture over here, we can also use a reading, a basic one. Remember that we need to work with the whole class, the whole students. So we can use these resources because the students going to focus on the highlighted words. They said, or they start thinking that those words are the key ones in order to understand a reading, a passage, or probably in an article. By using this, we can pre-activate the knowledge. So we can ask the students probably, what is this reading about? And the other picture, this one, we have some books. This is also a nice resource because we can't work with different English level, in this case, the books. We can provide students according to the English level, these books with the structure or the context is available, is suitable for these students. And the goal is the same, to understand. And after that, we can't say that that student has read the Independence. And this over here is scaffolding in the reading. In this part, the teacher must adapt different types of resources, materials that can help all the students in the class. Not only those who have a very low level in English, but also to keep working with the other student with average or probably a high level of English. Okay, dear professor, that is my contribution about the process of scaffolding in Clil classes. Thank you very much.